Cool. Hey guys. Uh, how's it going? I just got back from watching Iron Lung in theaters by Markiplier. As of recording, it is February 2nd, 10:31 a.m., 2026. And I haven't actually played this game before. You see, if I click continue, nothing happens. I have seen the Power Pack video essay. I have seen the many playthroughs of it, but I've never actually played it myself. And I thought, you know what? Why not just play the game for the first time and talk about the movie? I know what happens generally, so I'm probably not going to be taken by surprise by anything, but I also do have shit memory. Decades ago, every known star and habitable planet vanished, leaving only those who were on space stations or starships. This event became known as the Quiet Rapture. With supplies dwindling and infrastructure crumbling, survivors are searching for any trace of natural resource in a universe of barren moons lit by the ghostlight of vanished stars. One such moon holds a strange anomaly, an ocean of blood. You are a convict, tasked with exploring this anomaly in a makeshift submarine nicknamed the Iron Lung. It was not designated for this depth, so you will be welded inside and the forward window will be closed. There was no time for training. If successful, you will earn your freedom.
Beginning your descent. Cruising depth in roughly 40 seconds. Stand by. I'm seeing some voltage irregularities in the instruments, so keep an eye out for sparks or flames or anything like that. Approaching maximum depth. The hull's feeling it, but it's still holding strong. Closing porthole shielding. We're starting to lose radio signal. You'll be at cruise depth soon, so resume and be careful. You're on your own. Good.
So, is there no options? Mouse 1 direct, tab, map. The mouse sensitivity is a little too high for my liking, but like I said, I've seen this game plenty of times before. I knew of it before the movie, so on and so forth. And from what I've seen, it's an interesting enough premise. It's not one-to-one to the movie. It's terrible. And this is not an expedition. It is an execution. When they put you in here, they don't want you to return. And even if you do, and even if they keep their promises, what freedom awaits for you? A few dying stars. A few dying ships in a sea of dead stars? If there is still hope, it lies beyond the veil. Hope in this void is as illusionary as the starlight. I will choose to breathe my last here, at the bottom of an ocean, unseen, unheard, and uncontrolled. They will get their execution. I will get my freedom. So yeah, that was taken one for one in the movie. Like I said, I think I knew the general idea of what's going on here. Oh, there's the thingies. The map should be. That's right. In the map is just tab. In the movie, he does put it up here behind the fire extinguisher at some point. I do, and to rip the band-aid off right now. This movie was fucking fantastic. I really liked it. Watching it for the first time to me felt like watching The Thing for the first time, and that's it's the fucking Thing. Everyone loves The Thing. At release it was criticized for being too shocking. I think Siskel and Ebert, wasn't called it kind of like a violent movie for teens, if I remember correctly. This is not going to be a very structured video if you can't tell. This is just literally me playing the game for the first time and mainly talking about the movie. I am 182. 182.30, Y 11893. 182. Oh, X. Yeah, you crawl before you walk. So X is here. So 182. So right around here. Okay, so I'm right here-ish. Facing up. Like I said, one thing I actually really noticed is how relatively faithful. The first thing I want to talk about is the first thing you see in the movie is how pretty faithful the sub is recreated in the movie. I know it's not really. It doesn't really say much about the quality of the movie itself, but we'll be talking plenty about that later. But it's like kind of the first noticeable thing. It's a bit bigger, um, in the movie, I think. But oh no, the sub is 1.5 times bigger in the movie than it is in the game. Like, who fucking cares? I think even if the movie was not based off of a game, it would still be a fucking fantastic movie. 2 weeks ago, we connected. Photograph. SM13's forward camera. Photos must have taken 2 units of 10 degrees within the specified angle. You can also use the camera to help with navigation. When the photos that will be taken at the specified points of interest will be saved, since you can't navigate by sight, pay attention to the coordinate. Yeah. But I don't know. It was a very good movie. I watched it with a friend, Evie. Shout out Evie. I was actually coming back from doing shopping today from Walmart with a bunch of hamburger helper like microwave cups in the back with two friends, Riley and Blake. And Evie just like called me and she was like, "Hey, do you want to watch Iron Lung?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, fuck my homework, fuck midterms. Iron Lung's more important, and I still haven't actually touched my midterms, but I'll do that in an hour or so. But okay, so I'm at 182, 150, 182, 150. So I'm gonna say 182, 175, and then I'm gonna go right. But I don't know, it was a good movie. Alright, 175. If I mute occasionally, that's because I'm eating my dinner. I woke up at 3. It's 10 o'clock now. I haven't eaten since, at all. I'm kind of fucking starving, so I apologize, but like... Oh, whoopsies. It's a wall. That is indeed a wall. That's a bit better. Then I think we're gonna go to... Oh. Okay, X322, Y186. But, the movie, right, I have to say, I've noticed that the movie is, like, as of time of recording, it's, like, only, like 50 on Rotten Tomatoes from critic scores. I don't understand why. It was a very fucking good movie. I greatly enjoyed it. I genuinely highly recommend it to anyone who likes some more slow burn horror. I know a lot of complaints are probably... from what I've seen, I haven't done extensive research. I just kind of watched the movie and I'm playing the game for the first time right now. But from what I can tell, a lot of people are like, it was too slow. It's like, yeah, it is. Well, like, not too slow, but yeah, it's slow. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? Isn't the entire premise about isolation in some way? You know, so to complain about the pacing of that is, I think, a little... 186. Oh, back. That's fucking nothing. What angle is it? 30. It was 33. Cool, got it. Yeah, wow. No, okay. I don't like that noise. That's another thing about the movie is that the audio design was fucking fantastic. I like some real like Subnautica tier, like oceanic, like I don't know how to describe it, ambiance in the movie. There's like these subtle bangs that kind of like that kind of almost mess with you for a little bit in some of the quieter moments. There are points when the movie is completely silent, and it really like lets you sit with that kind of uneasiness that comes with complete and utter silence in a film. You know, it's a very deliberate choice to be like, let's not have everything. It's let's not have any sound. And the film itself absolutely uses it to say some things, and God, I'm gonna be gushing about it. I'm like, oh my god, this movie's awesome because it was awesome. I've seen I think Markiplier as a director is really made just a statement with his opening movie, just like fuck you. It's such a powerful thing to have this movie be fucking Melania Trump's fucking movie. Eat shit, you fucking fascist. Like, Jesus. Ah, man. It's so just like powerful to have this movie of all movies kind of be number one and be somehow like just like taken off. Made by a half Korean, half German indie director who's like, you know, does not have any sort of like history of this shit, and just showing, hey, anyone can make a good film. Going up against fucking multi-million-dollar conglomerate franchise bullshit, and besides like Sam Raimi's fine, but like the Melania Trump movie, I think, you know, just like it's just a nice, cool little fuck you. And as someone who has been following this movie's development since it was announced, it's been so just awesome to see it, you know, be something. What the fuck am I looking at? Was that something? No. How off am I? 387 x y is 263. I am literally too off. But I don't know. And that's like the film itself is so good. They're like I heard like I think it wasn't Most Critical. I haven't watched Most Critical's review because I wanted to watch the movie first. But from what I've heard, that he like kind of complains about I don't know if he complains, but criticizes the CGI at some points. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, honestly, because there was no real issues with the CGI in my opinion. It looked great. It did what it needed to do, and it like it did great. Especially some of like the images and graphics of this thing right here, the camera, and on here in the movie, look like Trevor Henderson paintings, and I mean that as a sincere fucking compliment. To the point where I actually got out of the movie and double checked if he was in it. He just visually, like the set design of the sub fit this kind of like rundown, ramshackle aesthetic so well. It was very cobbled together. It was like some like Adeptus Mechanicus bullshit. Like I don't know how this thing's running at all, dog. Like it just was so charming with how fucked up everything was, with how run down the sub was, with how like the clothing, the costume designs, the very few people we see, like the five. There's 3 people in the bay. Mark. Okay, of the 4 people you see, the 3 people in the of the 4 people you see, it's like got this. It's like the clothing of some like the rebel factions in like Rogue One. In Star Wars Rogue One, it's like that kind of clothing. It's like this. Yeah, let's just strip the fucking wall. 300. Okay, so I'm right here. It's like in Rogue One when you look at like the rebel clothing and see, but they like can't even, like they're wearing rags and shit. It really kind of like that and the sub. Got it. That and the sub design really like sells how fucking desperate everything is. And especially the way the characters like talk about shit, the way they talk about Eden, how Eden literally has the last tree ever, and oh, it's fucking gone. You don't see the last tree burn down. You don't get this big like fucking dramatic flashback of the last tree being like fucking torched or eviscerated or just sent under. It's just mentioned because it's not that important compared to literally all of the planets being gone. Yes, the last tree is gone. Yes, like the only soil we'll have is our bodies. Like, and it means that like the fact that it's not touched upon that much means that shit is bad. And I love that. But such like subtle, quiet world building of the last tree's gone, but like only really Simon seems worried about it. With his little, I think it's a seed in the little pendant he had with him. So to see that, this utter kind of ultra, what's the word? Utilitarian? Not utilitarian. This scavenge, ramshackled together kind of aesthetic in the subs, the tech in the subs. The fact that they forgot to tell him, hey, your camera's a massive radiation beam, makes it so much more interesting. Because, like, it means they're on such a tight time. They're literally going into nothing to find something, anything. And they don't tell the guy in the sub, hey, maybe you shouldn't hit the button on the camera when there's people in front of it, because maybe it's just not healthy. I was like hearing about like that scene. Oh my god, that scene got me because that was just heartbreaking. Because the fact that the guy in front of a sub actually welding. Oh yeah, massive spoilers. Forgot to mention that. But like whatever. There's such desperation in this film. The way he, there's so much to talk about. Oh my god, I literally just got back from this. I have not formulated my opinions at all. I'm like kind of still sitting in this kind of afterglow of what the fuck. Not like what the fuck as in that was not well executed, but what the fuck. That's evil. Why would you do that? Not why would you do that. That's more of, oh my god, you have a fucking point. Because I feel like some people are going to say, oh, this movie has nothing thematically to say, and I heavily disagree, but I feel like that's going to be a criticism that is going to be levied against it. But I think very clearly to me, its use of blood and phlegmatic, like, imagery, and how it talks about life, and some of the dialogue really makes a point that's kind of not subtle, but like, I don't know. Not unsubtle, just, it's as subtle as it needs to be, really, of sacrifice and faith in sacrifice. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example early on for the people in the video who haven't, like, seen it. Oh, like, the fact that you're being welded into a sub, is a sacrifice in itself. You might not come back up. You know? You might... 378... 263. But for this, I don't know, it's such like simple world building, like I said, this constant talk of sacrifice. You need to do this. It is for the greater good. Like, it is such just quiet and evil. Not evil. When I say, oh, this is fucked up and evil, it's like positive. Like, oh wow, this is like. It's like when I'm like learning about Warhammer 40k lore, and I'm like, that's fucked up and evil, or that's silly, but like in like a very positive way. Like the reaction I had to this was like, I literally, me and Evie, we sat there after the credits and just like sat in silence. Because there's no after credits scene telling you, oh, it's okay, Mark Fishback will return as Simon. Because no, he won't. Like, like, even if, like I said, massive spoilers, but massive spoilers. Even if he survived, this is not something you make a franchise out of, dog. I was like saying, I want Annihilation 2. I want The Thing 2. The point is the ambiguity in the ending that, oh, it looks like someone found the life vest with the data and the seed. Great. Where does it go from there? Hope. That's it. He made his sacrifice. You're going to take with it and just hope that happens, because that's all he has. Do you think Simon would absolutely love there to be sequels for the movie, because then he'd get to fucking live, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not how real life works, and unfortunately, he's dead. And I just think, like, I don't know if there are gonna be, but I feel like there's gonna be ending, there's gonna be like an ending explain video. Like, dude, if you need an ending explain video for like a movie like this, you're fucking, like, either you didn't really pay attention to the movie, or I don't know, you just want more from this director, which is fair. I think Mark should make more movies. I don't know the guy. I don't know if he really wants to make more movies. It seemed like it was a really difficult process for him, but it, in my opinion, was absolutely worth it. And I actually brought up earlier, I should have, like I said, this is very unstructured. There is this recurring theme, and motif of sacrifice and faith within sacrifice. Eden, the place that Mark is from, Mark's character Simon is from, is, you know, Eden, Garden of Eden. Very, you know, very spiritual and faith-based, but the way they talk about Eden, the imagery of the last tree of Eden, the stars kind of like fading out in front of Eden, seeing like these people's, like their entire society crumble in front of them, it ignites this idea of desperation and survival and sacrifice. There are, you know, you are a convict. You are essentially a sacrifice for the greater good. You have been welded inside this sub. If you make it back up, you make it back up. There is never any, like, never any, like, confirmation if Simon, was ever supposed to be brought back up. There was never any sort of yes, like 100% we were. Sure, you have whatever Ava tells him. Yeah, you would have been brought up, but I think it's important that it doesn't give you evidence. She's probably fucking pissed at this guy. Her lifespan has been shortened. She's been killed by him, actually. Not by him, inadvertently because of him. And so of course he doesn't fucking know if he's getting brought back up. Oh hey, my roommate just walked in. I'm talking like about the movie, so there might be spoilers, so I'm gonna shut up while you're in here about the spoiler stuff. But I don't know, there's a lot of very interesting thematic ties to, oh, now my roommate's leaving. There's a lot of very interesting thematic ties to sacrifice. This idea that this is an ocean of blood. Where did this blood come from? It is kind of said that the blood is humans. And you know, you can put the pieces together yourself and be like, oh, the humans within the quiet rapture. 300 is right here. That's essentially a wall. Oh no, 370. 31 is, what the fuck? 350. 375 would be here. 31 would be here. So just go in that direction. Access 350. I went the other way. Like I said, I'm not gonna get very far into the game in this video, but like whatever. So you are 364 here, 330 here. So you go. Whew. I know I'm not talking about the game, but that's not really the point of this video. And I know it's not structured. Once again, not really the point of the video. I just got back from the theater. Hold on, let me take a bite of my pasta. Oh, that's some good fucking pasta. Chef Boyardee, my go. Goddamn. Okay. All right. Oh shit. Oh fuck. That's some fucking good shit. Sorry.
Oxygen notification.
Fucking hell. I do have to say the depth meter and the oxygen thing are also in the movie and play actually a pretty prominent role. There's a part where it actually gains oxygen, which is a really weird and freaky part that I think about sometimes. That I've been thinking about it, because like, does that mean like the blood was oxygenated, or did like the creature be like, fucking, let's shoot the blood out of the oxygen to make him live a bit longer so he can make this choice for us? Not, and I think that's kind of important. Like I said, this film has a lot of like running motifs and sacrifices. For instance, like the sacrifice of being sealed in the sub, the sacrifice that he made, that he could not make back at Eden, either kill his brothers or let the station be blown up. I think that was also very incredibly, thematically important about sacrifice. He's called a coward, that all these sacrifices that he's done is only in service to himself, and that's what makes him finally tip and, blow the sub up, killing himself, but saving the data in his sacrifice. I think it's very important that this kind of kid is talked about in this running theme of, hey, you're making choices based off of life, and you need to still fundamentally understand that these lives are still human lives. They're still valuable, and these decisions of trading them away are at best rash. It's a cosmic trolley problem, almost kind of, hey, do we risk one life to save potential billions? And you and I, from an outside perspective, would be like, yes, absolutely. But what if you're the one guy tied on the tracks, and you see that trolley coming towards you, and there's 5 guys below you? You would do anything to get off that track, to convince that operator to switch it, because that's human. I mean, not everyone would, but I guarantee it'd be a reasonable response for that person to bargain with his life versus the other 5 people. Will he regret it later? Probably. Will he regret it? Maybe not. I don't know. But he still will in the moment, because that is how we have our instincts to survive. And that's essentially Simon's position. He's on the tracks. And it's him or the rest of the galaxy. And in the end, he chooses for him to die. And I think that's very important. There are people who, like, right now are in, pretty big positions of power, who are choosing between them or literally everyone else. and they're choosing them every time to get to live. Simon has chosen for him to die so everyone else can have something. The note, they will have, where is it? They will get their execution, I will get my freedom, is inherently, like, it's like like, at a surface level, I think, very like, oh, well, I can't be controlled down here. Yeah. You know what? In the end, Simon did have his freedom. He had the freedom to choose, hey, me or them. And he chose to sacrifice himself. Sorry about that. I was talking to my roommate. Alright, 2 down, 5 to go. So we just went from here to here, I think. 427. Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right, 427. 350, so... here. Just double checking. Yeah, okay. 336. So a little bit past here. 435, so right here. Right here. 324. So here. I do not like that sound a lot at all. But movie-wise, the movie. The question comes up of, is this a faithful adaptation? And I think absolutely. It takes the source material and adapts it. I think the whole video game movie thing is cutting out the middleman. I think the most important part of games, the gameplay. So it's not a replacement for the game. I feel like the game tells its story for the gameplay in a more emergent way that's a different experience. For instance, I am not having a good time right now. What I mean is, I am stressed out. These sounds I'm hearing, this, you know, not fun. You know, it's stressing me out. The audio design in the game is excellent, and so is the audio design in the movie. It's a very different thing to watch someone go through it and go through it yourself and handle things in a very different way. The movie is not a replacement for the game, which is why I'm playing the game, because I just saw the movie. And I think people need to realize that. Not a cool sound. .295, 406. .259. 259, 406. The pacing of the movie is a bit slow burn, I should mention that, but it's actually pretty alright. It's only 2 hours, it's not 3, and even then, I think it could have justified itself being a 3-hour movie, and I know people are gonna freak out about me saying, not gonna freak out, but I know you're gonna listen to this and you're like, hold on, 3 hours is a bit long. The Batman was 3 hours, and it's one of my favorite fucking superhero movies of all time. So if the Iron Lung movie was indeed 3 hours, I wouldn't actually cry about it, honestly, because I was very pleased with it. I think it was paced well, and people consider the start to be a bit slow, but I think it's an exponential curve of pacing, in my opinion. The start is slow, it slowly gets there, and there's a point where it just fucking descends, dog. And I like that. I think that's interesting. It's like you know, the buildup of a roller coaster. It's like people, you're missing. You're looking through the paragraph for the bullet points, essentially. How can I minimize this? How can I take something and simplify it when I think there is complexity in quiet time that is needed for this kind of stuff? Sure, we could cut down some time that isn't exactly plot relevant and make it, you know, like 30 minutes shorter, but that just kind of skips the beginning, you know, that skips the character moments, that skips the quiet tension, that skips everything for just the plot. If every story was just plot, with no atmosphere, no vibes, no quiet time, then it'd all be bullet points. Missing the forest for the trees, you know. So I feel like when people complain about the, when someone complains about a movie's like a movie's length to me, it kind of falls on deaf ears. At least to me. There are moments that could absolutely be cut. Yeah, sure, but the term, you know, like kill your darlings, I think is poor advice at best. Because you know what? If you like that scene, chances are someone else will. So why do you have to cut it? And so that's why I think the movie is pretty good. Smile. No, wrong way. What's something also important that I could talk about regarding the film that I haven't touched on yet? Dialogue. The dialogue was great. It was simple, sharp cutting. Like, he doesn't really try to like leverage any, and there's no lines that sing out of place. There's nothing that really kind of fits in like a actually kind of moment. There's no like he's right behind me, because that's stupid. It's a horror movie. If you're making like the only time I think that would really work in a horror movie if it's like a, you know, like a B movie or like a I heard Send Help was really good. My roommate's a huge oh my god, I'm blanking his name. Sam Raimi fan. My roommate's a huge Sam Raimi fan, and he went Send Help, and I heard that was pretty fun. But yeah, that's like the only time I think that'd be really justified in a horror setting. It's dripping blood already. So, everything fits. There's no out of place lines. There's some pretty standout ones. The one that everyone likes is that I just want to live. Is that so bad? That's a great line. The way Eden unravels, the way the character really doesn't want, Simon really doesn't want to fucking talk about it, makes the auditory flashbacks, the kind of way he thinks about it in the very late section of the movie, super interesting. The fact that we don't see it, the fact that we only hear about it, the fact that it's we got some motherfucking bendy straws in this bitch, but the fact that we don't know anything about it, I think adds a lot, because things should be ambiguous. You should have your own interpretation. Maybe Simon does deserve to be down here. I personally think he doesn't. But you know, hearing he surrendered from like some of the audio logs, hearing that he's, you know, doesn't want to be down there, the way he reacts to like the radiation thing makes him just seem like he's just been in the wrong place in the wrong time, one time too many. and that's how he wound up here. And it's tragic. This movie is a tragedy, really. The way, but I don't know. It's hopeful at the end, I think. Sorry, I mean pasta again. I've heard my friend Evie, when we were asking the movie, she was like, I don't get why people were rating this movie so poorly. And I don't know why it's at a 50% at Rotten Tomatoes, really. But then again, they also like gave Big Mouth like a 95. And I do not fucking like Big Mouth, so maybe it just wasn't for them. I really enjoyed it, though, for what it's worth. I think that visually it was fucking stunning. Some of the cinematography, some of the shots, the way they like get the close-ups on the controls and how he like just uses them, and the way like the light just shines from his like the blood on his hands into the camera as it kind of moved past. It tickled my brain in a way I never knew. I think there's some really interesting practical effects, like the scene in the crawl space where he's just trying to get through the blood. The way like the way the entire like the blood just flows in, how like kind of thick and vicious it is. Oh my god, the entire like blood not hallucination, like blood dimension scene, fucking phenomenal. Oh my god. Oh my god. That like the lead up, the sub breaking, the I see you line, the way he looks at this massive eye, fuck, it was heart pounding in theater, and just to have him throw up blood and being back to normal and just kind of sit up is so simple. I love it. Or the scene when he's kind of like, oh god, there's so much to gush about. There's so much to gush about. I think the acting was great. I heard that some people kind of have trouble like separating the character of Simon from like the actor Markiplier, because like I grew up watching Markiplier. I think it's pretty fucking easy. It's not Dwayne The Rock Johnson where he's in 10 billion movies. I know like I've watched the Let's Plays of this guy, but there's a very easy difference between how he like acts in like a Let's Play, like this goofy little guy, to this downtrodden, disturbed individual he plays. I think it's very easy for me to separate the actor from the character, and I think people complaining about really something that's not a huge deal at all. 270, 6'4". Also, the like I said, I think I already talked about the set. Once again, the set's fucking fantastic. Though I think from what like the way they got, I think they like put the set on hydraulics or something, because the way he like gets thrown around in the sub when it's hit, that is not CG, dog. That looks like that hurt. I don't. When he sped out blood, I think that might have been real. I know for a fact he did get sent to the hospital after filming or during filming because I think he got blood in his eyes. And I'm not saying he was method acting, but he was absolutely probably doing his own stunts or something. But man, what a fantastic fucking film! I cannot get over the some of these images, like I said, some of the images on here were fucking Trevor Henderson like tier paintings. It was great. The way he like interacts with the console and like spins the little ball, I also loved. I don't know why. I wonder if I can do SM8 and have that be anything. Yes, I can. So the SM8 is also in the movie. What if I do blood? Okay, whatever. But fantastic fucking movie. God, like I know I'm gushing, like, oh, I love this movie. This movie's so good. Like that's the entire point of this video. If you're gonna complain about that, then why are you watching it? Oh fuck, Morty. I think the way that the camera is used, the way like Simon as a character uses it as a light source, makes the way he like attempts to just keep light. There's also a lot of thematic things about light, this illumination in the darkness. Um, you will never see the light again. The way it's used as a kind of a guide, guiding light of sorts, especially with the camera, like being like the only source of light in the entire ship. Besides like this like one of the few lights in the ship itself, the sub, sorry, really adds a lot. I haven't figured out what it is thematically, but I guess probably something about safety or salvation. I'm here. 300 X323 so here. I think if I go, fucking stop! Shut up. I was very surprised to see that there was no just big fish jump scare. In Iron Log, the final jump in the game, the final jump scare is just big fish PNG, but the tension kind of makes you forget that it's big fish .png. And so it's very much built into one big jump scare, and I think the movie does that well. But there's multiple scares that aren't really jump scares. I think I could go straight until I see the light. Hey, okay, got it. Full speed ahead. Okay, I'll stop. Will I hit anything? Absolutely, I will. Motherfucker. What the hell? Hey. Could you, like, not? Is there any way to... Fuck it, okay. Man. No, this is stressful. I could see why Markiplier, like, chose to, Oh, okay, really cool, really awesome. Please let me know I'm going the right direction. What's on... Hello? There's like no tunnels here. Is this a wall or is this gonna be like a fucking like little guy? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what else to say about the movie right now. I'm sure something will come to me. The audio design was great. And the only real complaint I have is the score wasn't very memorable. But like, it did its job very well. I don't think it was the most catchy thing ever, which makes sense. It's a horror movie, not a fucking like jukebox musical, you know? It does its job very well. It settles up tension, it's quiet, it's pounding. It does what's needed to do. It's not the most standout thing about the movie. Honestly, there's a lot to say about the movie. I'm probably not gonna do a full playthrough of a game in recording because I'm doing pretty fucking bad. Not gonna lie, but I would seriously recommend this to you. I think you should go give it a watch. It's great, scary, a lot of great tension, a lot of great acting. The special effects are fucking gorgeous at points. The practical effects are great. There's very clear direction, a lot of very important thematics, I think, and I don't know. I'm not gonna explain the ending to you. This is not a Watch Mojo ending explain video. It's like, watch the movie and make your own opinions. Don't take my word for it. Watch it. You might find stuff in there that I haven't even thought about. Yeah, you know what? Sure. That's the video. It's gonna be an hour long. Whatever.